When it comes to her daughter's health and safety, Kristen Doute isn't taking any chances. The first-time mom took to Threads this week to reveal her list of do's and don'ts for interacting with baby Kaya Lily. Kristen reminded followers that her bundle of joy was less than a month old and thus more susceptible to common illnesses. So, in an effort to protect her newborn daughter, Kristen implemented strict contact rules that also apply to friends and family. Kristen Doute's do's and don'ts of interacting with Kaya Lily. Don't kiss my baby, don't touch her face, the Valley mom wrote in a July 7 Threads post. If you were out of town, at a party, have even a tickle in your throat, don't come over, get that TDAP shot, baby. The TAP shot is a combination vaccine that protects against tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis, aka whooping cough. Children typically get a booster injection around 11 or 12, while adults are encouraged to receive a booster every 10 years. If I'm cool with you holding her, I'll let you know, Kristen continued. So please don't ask and make it weird. Moms, you're not crazy. Babies are small and germs are big. Kristen Doute defends the way she's protecting her baby. It's up to me. The post has since received thousands of likes and hundreds of comments, many of which were supportive of Kristen's restrictions. The Vanderpump Rules alum defended her decision in a July 8 Instagram story. Thank you, moms and people who just hearted the way that I want to protect my baby, she said before acknowledging that some people disagree with her approach. Just support it. It's up to me. I just shared the rules because I think a lot of moms feel guilty that they don't want to let people hold their baby or get too close to their baby. I'm like, hello, it's called boundaries, and I want her to be healthy and safe. This little nugget. Kristen then shared a peek at baby Kaya dressed in the cutest butterfly print onesie. Words are still hard, she captioned the story. Kristen Doute and Luke Broderick put their wedding plans on the back burner. Kristen and her fiancé, Luke Broderick, welcomed their baby girl in mid-July. The couple, who got engaged in September 2024, said they have put their wedding plans on the back burner so they can focus on their daughter and transition into parenthood. We'll probably start talking about that next year, Kristen told the briefing on Bravo about the wedding planning. It could happen next year. I don't know. I don't want to wait too long, but I think we need to settle into being parents in this whole chapter of our lives and really know what we're doing before we try to plan anything else. The world had shrunk, not in a suffocating way, but in a profound, beautiful contraction around a single tiny point, Kaya Lily. Kristen Doute, once a whirlwind of reality TV drama and spontaneous decisions, now moved with a new, almost reverent caution. Every breath Kaya took, every flutter of her impossibly small eyelids, was a miracle Kristen fiercely guarded. Less than a month old, her daughter was a whisper of a human, fragile and perfect, and Kristen was her fortress. The Threads post had been born out of a simmering anxiety, a quiet desperation to protect this new, vulnerable life. It wasn't a plea for validation, but a declaration of war against invisible enemies. Don't kiss my baby, don't touch her face, she typed, each word a brick in the wall she was building. If you are out of town, at a party, have even a tickle in your throat, don't come over, get that TDAP shot, baby. The TAP shot, a shield against tetanus, diphtheria, and the dreaded whooping cough, had become her mantra, a non-negotiable rite of passage for anyone wishing to enter Kaya's orbit. Luke, bless his steady heart, had been her rock through the sleepless nights and the dizzy rush of new parenthood. He'd watched her meticulously wipe down surfaces, sanitize her hands for the 10th time in an hour, and gently deflect well-meaning visitors who leaned a little too close. He understood. He saw the fierce, primal protectiveness that had blossomed in Kristen the moment Kaya was placed in her arms. It was a love so potent it felt like a physical ache, a constant hum beneath her skin. The first few weeks were a blur of feeds, diaper changes, and an almost obsessive monitoring of Kaya's breathing. Every cough, every sneeze from a visitor sent a jolt of panic through Kristen. Her mother, a practical woman who had raised 3 children without the internet's endless supply of germ warnings, initially raised an eyebrow. "We just washed our hands back then, honey," she chuckled, but the chuckle faded when she saw the unwavering resolve in Kristen's eyes. She got her tap shot. Friends were harder. Some fellow moms nodded in silent understanding. Others, still childless, seemed to find the rules excessive. There was Sarah, who arrived with a gift and a slight sniffle, claiming it was just allergies. Kristen had intercepted her at the door, a polite but firm smile plastered on her face. "So good to see you, love. Just a quick air hug for now, okay? Kaya's super tiny, and we're being extra cautious." Sarah's smile had faltered, a hint of offense flashing in her eyes before she recovered. "Oh, right, of course. Totally get it." But Kristen felt the subtle shift, the faint chill in the air. Then there was Aunt Carol, Luke's great aunt, who believed babies were meant to be passed around like hot potatoes. She'd arrived unannounced, arms outstretched, cooing, "Let me have a hold of that little angel." Kristen had stepped in front of Luke, blocking Carol's path to the bassinet. "Aunt Carol, it's so wonderful you came. Kaya's actually just napping, and we're trying to keep things super calm right now. Maybe next time, when she's a little older." The lie tasted bitter, but the alternative, a wriggling, germ-laden embrace, was unthinkable. Carol had huffed, clearly annoyed, and spent the rest of the visit perched stiffly on the edge of the sofa, arms crossed. Kristen wrestled with the guilt. Was she being unreasonable? Was she alienating the people she loved? The "don't ask and make it weird" rule was particularly challenging. She knew it sounded harsh, but she was exhausted, hormonal, and fiercely protective. The constant negotiation, the polite refusals, the subtle dance of avoidance, it was draining. She just wanted to be a mom, to revel in the newness of Kaya, not to be a bouncer at the door of her own home. One afternoon, a week after the Threads post, Kaya developed a tiny, congested cough. It was probably nothing, just a bit of milk in her windpipe, but to Kristen, it was a siren blaring. She spent hours watching her daughter's chest rise and fall, pressing a hand to her forehead, checking for fever. Luke, seeing her distress, had called the pediatrician, who calmly reassured them it was likely just a newborn reflex. But the scare solidified Kristen's resolve. This was her baby, her rules, her responsibility. The guilt began to recede, replaced by a steely conviction. The Threads post had exploded. Thousands of likes, hundreds of comments. The initial wave was a balm to her soul. "You're not crazy, Mama. Preach. My baby, my rules. Wish I'd had the guts to say this." It was a chorus of solidarity from a legion of mothers who understood the silent battles fought within the confines of their homes. They knew the judgment, the unsolicited advice, the pressure to conform to societal norms of sharing their newborns. But then came the inevitable backlash. Overprotective much. "You're going to stunt her immune system." Poor kid, locked away in a bubble. Kristen scrolled through them, a knot tightening in her stomach. She knew she shouldn't let it get to her, but the words still stung. She was just trying to do her best. The next day, she took to Instagram stories, her face bare, her voice tired but firm. "Thank you, moms and people who just hearted the way that I want to protect my baby," she began, her gaze direct into the camera. She acknowledged the dissenters, her voice softening slightly. "Just support it. It's up to me. I just shared the rules because I think a lot of moms feel guilty that they don't want to let people hold their baby or get too close to their baby. I'm like, hello, it's called boundaries, and I want her to be healthy and safe." This little nugget. As she spoke, her eyes welled up, not with sadness, but with the sheer force of her love. She panned the camera to Kaya, nestled in her bassinet, dressed in the cutest butterfly print onesie, a tiny fist curled near her face. Words are still hard, she whispered, a raw admission of the overwhelming emotions that came with being a first-time mom. The public defense, the raw honesty, resonated even more deeply. It wasn't about being a celebrity. It was about being a mom, navigating the universal anxieties of new parenthood in a world full of germs and opinions. The support poured in, stronger this time, drowning out the negativity. Kristen felt a sense of liberation. She wasn't just protecting Kaya, she was protecting herself, her peace of mind, and the sacred bond she was forming with her daughter. Life with Kaya was a beautiful, messy, sleep-deprived reality. The wedding plans with Luke, once a vibrant dream, had indeed been placed firmly on the back burner. "We'll probably start talking about that next year," she told the briefing on Bravo. "It could happen next year. I don't know. I don't want to wait too long, but I think we need to settle into being parents and this whole chapter of our lives, and really know what we're doing before we try to plan anything else."